Hello everyone, Egg Daddy here. Hey guys, it's Jules from WhatCulture. This is the thing, when it comes to video games, I do not believe in giving up. I will follow franchises that are definitely on the downward slope because of my sheer determinism. I mean, Dynasty Warriors has not kicked out a good game in quite a while. Dynasty Warriors 9 was absolute tosh, but here we are, your boy bought it. Special edition one, don't even talk about it. The thing is, when it comes to a game that I did give up on though, there is only one that really sticks out in my mind, and that is, unfortunately, Animal Crossing. I just don't get it. I like games like Minecraft and ones that let you build stuff, but here it just seems that the minutiae is just too minute. There's just nothing going on for me. Oh, I can build a shop and have my friends come over and look at my turnips. So what? The thing is, it's all about like renovation projects. It's all about turning like a patch of land into nothing, into like a really nice garden or building a house and stuff like that. I've got a house renovation going on at the moment. I'm pretty sure my missus would be more happy if I pitched in there instead of doing it digitally. She probably isn't impressed with my bells. She just calls me a bellend for not getting the work done. So yeah, Animal Crossing. It's boring.
So a video game that I just keep giving up on, and it's a classic, it's Ghosts and Goblins, and whether that be the original or the remake that came out on the Xbox, I have tried so many times to play this game because it is a brilliant game. It's really addictive, it's really fun, but it's just so bloody difficult, and I can never seem to get past like the first I don't even know if I've ever got past the first or second level. It's just ridiculous. It's so stupidly hard because you start off as like a knight with armor, but every time you get hit you lose a bit of armor, but then once that armor is gone, your protection is completely gone, and so just one hit can kill you, and it's just so frustrating. Like the old game was so much harder. The new game, they kind of gave you a little bit of lenience so that you could kind of gain health items and stuff like that, but whether it was glitchy or it was just they just kind of kept the mechanics there, so it was just stupidly hard. There's just so many enemies. There's so many enemies that get thrown at you, and it's not just enemies. There's like plants and spikes and things that you have to jump over, there's gaps you have to jump over, and I just never seem to be able to complete it. And I always try, I sit down, I see the game and I go, oh, Ghosts and Goblins, this is a brilliant game, I'll sit down and play it. And then within the first 5 minutes, and I've died within like that 5 minutes about 10 times already, and I'm just like, oh, yes, I remember why I stopped playing this game, because it's freaking impossible. It annoys me so much that it's just so ridiculously hard, but also so entertaining, because you always get brought back and you're like, I'll give it another go, I'll give it another chance, and it only takes like 10 minutes to realise I'm just never going to do this. It's just too hard. I give up, I throw my hands up, and that's it. I throw it back down, and then I maybe give it another go like a month later once I've finally calmed down. But it's too difficult, and I gave up on it, and I will always continue to give up on it, but I would continue to give it a chance as well. But yeah, Ghosts and Goblins for me is just one I'll never complete, and I will always give up on. Too hard, man.
So the video game that I kind of just gave up on has to be Sekiro, and not in the way that you think about it. It's honestly, I really enjoyed the game and I love it quite a lot. It's just that back in 2019 when it released, I spent a lot of time into it, and I got up to, I think, around Gunfort, and the sub-boss, the first sub-boss that you meet is such a pain in the arse that I kind of had to go away from it. I was getting quite angry about it, and just constantly dying really put me off, and I put it aside, didn't come back to it until Christmas, where I played it so much, and I defeated that bitch again, and I went all the way down to the final boss of the game, not the Demon of the Hatred, but before that one. I spent so much time just killing all these bosses and trying to get better, and believe me, the second playthrough is so much better than the first, because you carry on all that skills that you could gain from that first playthrough onto the second one, and it just becomes so much easier. I really recommend it if you didn't like it the first time. So I got up to the final boss, and I tried it once, and I was like, you know what, I'm kind of done with this. I think the game's given me enough crap as it is. I think I can't really take any more. I can't be arsed, so I just gave up on it, really, because of my own want to continue, and that was like it kind of like balanced out between whether I was enjoying it and whether I really wanted to continue on it, and maybe the fact that I wasn't really enjoying it made me give up on it. So yeah, Sekiro.
So a game that I gave up on, and it's not a reflection on how good the game is, because I still absolutely adore this game, it's Stardew Valley. And that's only because I had such a realization that it was just going to go on forever, and I was living on it day in, day out, checking out, selling some different jams, watering all my flowers and talking to everybody in the village. One of those games, kind of like Animal Crossing or Stardew, where you want to have this sort of social sim aspect to it. I want to dive in every day and see what's new. The thing that eventually got me with Stardew was when it shifted to winter and all my stock died. Everything just died. And it was like, well, you've spent all this time building this stuff, but we're going to replicate real world farming conditions, and you can't make the stuff that you've been making through spring or summer or whatever order they're going. Because now it's winter and that's going to kill everything. So I had a crushing realization of just thinking, well, screw it then, Stardew. I've been with you for months at this point, or at least months of in-game time, felt like months to me. And if you're then going to just turn around and say everything's done, I'm not going to restart. I'm not going to go buy all my seeds again and replant everything. Otherwise, I'll never leave. And so like I said, it's not a reflection on the game itself. I absolutely adore Stardew. I vastly prefer it to Animal Crossing New Horizons. But it was that thing where the game was almost saying, look, here's the bit where we're going to reset you and sort of remind you that, you're going to have to put some time in and some work in to build this back up, different seasons, whatever. And I just took that as a sort of ticket, a door being opened to just say, but if you want to leave, you've done your time, you've made a nice little farm. If you want to leave now, that's fine. And I walked away and I never came back. So I had a lovely time with Stardew Valley, and I would totally recommend it to everybody. But as soon as winter hit, I was away. Hit and run, I was gone.
So the video game I gave up on was Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm just going to say it. It was Red Dead 2. And in fact, I've not given up on it once, I've given up on it twice. Once on PS4, which I then had to uninstall because my PS4 hard drive is next to non-existent and I needed more space for more Tetris. And once again on PC when it came out on PC, because it's like, hey, I can play it with RTX on and all the fancy bits as well. And again, I put a couple of hours into it and that was that. And I think the reason why I sort of fell off Red Dead 2 twice is the fact that I know that it's slow. I know that it takes a bit of time to get going, but when it does, it is really something amazing. And I kind of wish I had given myself the time to play that game. I answered with Red Dead 2 for another blasphemous question on Chatty in the past about a game I regret buying, but I didn't regret buying it because I hated it. I regret buying it because it's so damn good and that I haven't put the time in. And to this day, I've still given up on it, which it's kind of sad for one of the best games of 2018 that I just haven't given it the time of day and I've uninstalled it twice. One day, I may go back and give it the time that Red Dead 2 deserves, and I know that it deserves time. For the several hours, the less than 10 hours I put into Red Dead 2 across both platforms, it's incredible. It's so well crafted and the world is so well realized, and I want to get into the story of Arthur Morgan. Yes, I know how it ends. It sucks that I know how it ends, but it doesn't mean it won't make the experience more incredible. But I just haven't given it the time of day. Because I'd reinstall it on my PC, but I'm too busy playing Counter-Strike, a game that's 7 years old. When I could be galloping around the West as Arthur Morgan. Alternatively, I could reinstall Horizon Zero Dawn, which I put like 5 hours into as well. I'm not good with open world stuff, am I?
Ashamedly, there have been quite a few video games that I've given up on. For instance, God of War, because I couldn't get past... Well, I could get past it, I just found out that the opening bit really bad, and it's a shame because it's staring at me right now on my shelf. It's just like, play me, Ewan, and I'm like, I want to, but also that first bit was really boring. Anyway, that's not the game I'm talking about right now. I'm actually going to talk to you about the 2019, that's the year it released, Modern Warfare reboot, because I've kind of had a love-hate relationship with Call of Duty for like the past, I don't know, however long years now. I never really played them religiously. I kind of had to sneakily go over to friends to play them. But I did have World at War, and I loved World at War, and I did like Modern Warfare. And I have liked some of the newer ones, but yeah, the new Modern Warfare I was excited about, you know, even though I kind of thought a reboot was derivative, whatever. Thought the single player was fine. I thought the actual gameplay itself sold its story more than the actual narrative, which I found to be quite cliche and derivative, whatever. And the reason why I gave up on it is because you give that game like an inch of your hard drive and it'll take a bloody mile. The multiplayer was okay. I was bad at the multiplayer as well. I was pretty bad at the multiplayer. I will concede that. The spawns were really bad as well. The spawns were really bad. They were. And yeah, basically the memory system just how much memory does that game need? No game needs that much memory. No game. I literally could not have any other game on my console at that point. And if any game forces me to choose between Red Dead Redemption and it's a losing battle. Of course Red Dead's gonna win all the time. Of course they're gonna be just lounging around in Reddit Online where they don't update it or anything and there's nothing to do. Decisions.